Hello, my name is Giona, and welcome. Today we're going to be discussing William Shakespeare's play Twelfth Night and the modern film adaptation She's the Man. In Twelfth Night, Viola gets separated from her brother Sebastian, who she thinks is dead. She disguises herself as a man, Cesario, in Duke Orsino's court, and is a liaison to Lady Olivia, who Orsino is in love with. Maria, Sir Toby, Sir Andrew, and Antonio are all minor characters who support the main storylines. Feste is a fool in this story, and he provides comic relief. Though there are many complicated love triangles, the ending resolves happily with characters paired off. In She's the Man, Viola's soccer team gets cut, so she disguises herself as her brother Sebastian to join the boys' soccer team at his school and beat her old school. Viola gets wrapped up in many love triangles that are resolved in comedic ways at the end of the movie. In these two works, costuming and the role that gender and gender stereotypes play drastically affect the impact the stories have. Modern day progression has shaped our opinions on gender and gender fluidity, as well as provided more freedom with costuming. Additionally, the role of the fool and minor characters creates a comedic effect in both works. However, it is slightly different in both the play and the movie.
I know. If there's anything I can do, just say the word.
As a matter of fact, there is. We want to try out for the boys' team.
Anything besides that?
Coach, come on. You know that we're good enough.
I don't know that that's a thing that I know.
What? All we're asking for is one shot. Come on.
Girls, we have 2 weeks before school starts. Then we open against Illyria, a rivalry game. We have to win.
And we can help you win.
Hey, baby.
Hey.
What's going on, Coach?
Girls here want to try out for the team.
I'm not serious.
All right. You're all excellent players, but girls aren't as fast as boys.
What?
Or strong, or as athletic. Hey, this is not me talking. It's a scientific fact. Girls can't beat boys. It's as simple as that.
Okay. Well, Justin, you're the team captain. What do you think about it?
I think the coach said it all.
Yesterday, you told me that I was better than half the guys on your team.
I never said that.
What are you talking about? Why are you lying?
Violet, end of discussion.
Fine. End of relationship.
Oh!
Come on, let's go.
Welcome, and thank you so much for being here today, Bernice. I was just discussing how costuming plays a big role in this particular play. In your article, The Costumes of Love's Labor's Lost, Twelfth Night, and The Tempest talks about this topic in detail. I was hoping you could begin by shedding some light on costuming during Shakespeare's time.
A great deal of care was devoted in all dramatic representations to accuracy in costume, so as to make it accord with the nationality as well as with the rank, profession, or station of each character.
Interesting. Now, narrowing down this topic to a more specific lens of the Twelfth Night, why do you think it was easy for Viola, a female, to disguise herself as Cesario, a male?
Both men and women of fashion wore a stiffly starched ruff or collar reaching from the shoulder to the ear. Men's sleeves were puffed out until no one could tell the shape of the arm. The hose were padded from the thigh to the knee, and the doublet was likewise generously stuffed.
So, what I'm gathering is, male and female costumes were very similar. Where they differed, it was too puffed out to even notice if it was a male or a female arm. This would mean that it would be very easy for a girl to disguise herself as a man. Additionally, I know from prior knowledge that younger boys played female characters so that they would have higher pitched voices which more closely resembles an actual female. For this play, why is costuming even more important?
They serve to identify the characters and to connect the scenes of the story. The device of disguise is the basis even for the main plot.
So, costuming is important to identify which characters are which in this play. Without the specific costumes, it would be impossible to understand who is disguising themselves as who. The costuming helps make the play clear. Without the costuming, the whole mistaken identity plot would have been pointless. There is no specific costume pointed out in the play there's one specific costume pointed out in the play that I would like to address, which is that of Malvolio's.
Most of the costuming of Twelfth Night is simple, although it is more vitally integrated with the plot, particularly Malvolio's yellow stockings and cross garters.
In Act 2, Scene 5, Malvolio receives a letter from supposedly Lady Olivia. However, it is actually from Maria as a prank. The letter, which reads, "Remember who condemned thy yellow stockings and wished to see thy ever cross-gartered. I say, remember. Go to thou art made, if thou desire is to be so." Here, Malvolio is encouraged to wear a specific, very outlandish outfit in order to gain the affection of Maria.
4 explanations of the significance of Malvolio's dress have been offered. 1. Yellow, especially in stockings, was the court fashion of the time. 2. Yellow signified Malvolio's attempt to appear young. 3. It was a symbol of jealousy. 4. Cross-gartering expressed Malvolio's Puritanism.
I would like to focus on how Malvolio uses his dress to express his affection and love for Olivia. This outfit would have been unexpected, so her approval would guarantee that she also shared his same affection. This singular scene brings out much more importance to Malvolio's character.
Students have been puzzled to learn why the character of Malvolio was so enthusiastically received by the Elizabethans. The facts that it is so received is evidenced by the number of times that Twelfth Night was referred to as Malvolio or the play of Malvolio.
This is something very interesting that I was not aware of. It is interesting that Malvolio was such a big deal at the time. I feel that in the new She's the Man adaptation, Malvolio was glossed over and played an extremely minor role. When we come back, we will discuss the differences in Twelfth Night and She's the Man with respect to the characters. While there are many similarities, there were also a few differences that are worth noting. Thank you so much for being here today, Bernice. We'll be right back. Welcome, Chad. Thank you for being here. As this is the start of the show, I was hoping you could define from your article what comedy is.
Shakespearean comedy is often seen as the opposite of Shakespearean tragedy. Comedy starts in chaos and charts the return to order, characterized most often by marriage at the end of a play.
The definition applies to Twelfth Night as the whole play constitutes of muddled love triangles. However, in the end, everyone is coupled up and happily married.
The Globe's Twelfth Night is the most authentic that the Globe Theatre Company has staged to date, with specifically arranged period music, an all-male cast, and an authentic Elizabethan dress.
This is a good point. During the time period, actors in plays were males and young boys who played the parts of females. I'm sure an adaptation during the time would have been the closest to the original version of the play. However, the modern adaptation of the play, She's the Man, offers a new perspective on this.
As a strategy of performance, cross-gender casting can reveal a stage production's attitude towards sexual and gender identity in ways that we can otherwise only intuit. Because watching a cross-gender cast production is a very difficult experience from theorizing about such performances.
I agree, and these interpretations are what produce great adaptations. When we come back, we will be discussing how this film adaptation deals with the concepts of sexuality, gender, identity, stereotypes, and cross-dressing. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being here today, Jennifer. I'm very excited to talk to you about your article, The Post-Feminist Mystique, Feminism and Shakespearean Adaptation, and 10 Things I Hate About You and She's the Man. As your article deals with the film adaptation of how it approaches typical stereotypes and the topic of gender as a whole. Could you start by telling us what you talked about in your article?
In Twelfth Night, conventional expectations repeatedly gave way to a different way of perceiving the world. However, although She's the Man employs the cross-dressing plot of Twelfth Night, it carefully reinforces conventional expectations about gender and sexuality by continuously reminding us that Viola is in fact female, though her flaws in performance of masculinity and through scenes in which she dressed as a proper feminine girl.
I completely respect your article and your opinion. I agree with the fact that this play forces us to look at the world with different, more gender-fluid perspectives. However, I would argue that this is a modern comedic adaptation. I believe these flaws in the film that you refer to actually create a comedic effect in the movie. Men and women act differently as every person acts differently. This film adaptation strikes me as a film that highlights the difficulty of fitting into high school, no matter what your gender or sexuality is. Every person struggles to fit in. I believe the comedic scenes stem a great deal from the issues Viola has from trying to fit in with Duke and all of his soccer buddies. Switching gears a little bit, I would like to talk about how the movie depicts stereotypes through their characters and what they are actually saying about these stereotypes.
She's the Man restricts the primary adult female character to one, Viola's mother, who is, however, no feminist, but rather a silly upper middle class socialite.
I completely agree with you. Viola's mother is silly, ridiculous, and very old-fashioned, as she believes girls should be in dresses at debutante balls and not playing sports. I feel they use the ridiculousness of Viola's mother to ridicule these traditional stereotypes. The movie does not support these stereotypes as they portray the main characters who are not meant to be respected or liked. The other character I wanted to talk about was Viola's soccer coach.
When Viola suggests that she and her teammates try out for a boys' soccer team, the coach and the members of the boys' team laugh, and the coach slips into a near rhyme. It isn't me talking, it's scientific fact. Girls can't beat boys, and it's simple as that. When Viola reminds her boyfriend, the star of the boys' team, that he has previously praised her as a better player than half the boys on the team, he chooses to lie rather than break solidarity with the other boys.
Perfect, and thank you for bringing up Viola's boyfriend as well. I noticed that the two men here who do not support Viola in her endeavors to join the boys' soccer team are seen as very ignorant and unaware. I feel that this makes a greater commentary about the fact that the only men who do support women, or who do not support women as equals, are the men who are ignorant and almost arrogant themselves. It would then follow that normal, sensible men would support women. Viola's boyfriend is seen as a soccer star, but his personality is less than shining. Directly after this, Viola breaks up with him on the spot in front of everyone. This shows that she will not stand for his treatment. She is strong enough to cut her losses and cut that lack of support out of her life.
The camera leads us to identify with the girls, and especially with Viola, who gets several close-ups as opposed to the boys, who get only medium shots, and the coach, whose only close-up is in profile and clearly intended to show his ignorance as he laughs off Viola's request to be allowed to try out for the boys' team.
This is such a pivotal scene, and I love this observation. I agree that this highlights the coach's arrogance and helps us side with Viola's team, even though I doubt many viewers need convincing. I feel this is a very intentional choice by filmmakers. This choice helps capitalize on the fact that the coaches and boys' team are being ridiculous, and it is clear they should have supported and encouraged Viola. However, this creates a conflict and therefore a plot for the story. This comedy relies on the conflict for the plot of the story, which is resolved in funny and out of the ordinary ways. With this in mind, I think the filmmakers do a good job in depicting stereotypes in a negative light, showing that they should not be perpetuated. Thank you for being here with us today, and we will be right back.
John, take a look up on your watch. The real man of dancehall return back. Hotter than that, yeah, trasher than trash. Can't fast no blood clot and fresh and hot. Anyway, this punk, that punk, neither you either. This bad man, your life is in splendor. The man lyrics are burn you like ginger. Clap you like lightning, shake you like thunder. For your DJ, I don't fear. Enough of them a bad man, yes, but I don't care. Make me, you think I young go there to after, it's a killer sound there.
Oh, great. Ow! Oh, for the love of God! It burned!
It just...
Hello, Pat, and welcome. Thank you so much for being here today. In your article, you define what the classic fool in a play is. Could you start by defining this for us?
Yeah, a fool could say and do things an ordinary man could not possibly get away with. Behind the protection of his own madness and amusement of his royal patron, he could mock arrogant lords and stately bishops and cast aspirations on all the sacred cows.
I feel this definition fits Feste to a T. I also noticed Feste has something very unique in this play, which is that he has a lot of miniature songs.
Feste's songs have dual purposes. From his point of view, they are pleasant pastimes, or from that of the audience and the playwright, they serve to set the mood of Twelfth Night as a whole. Feste, in his closing song, reminds us of the harsh truths of life.
I agree, and to show an example of this, I'm going to read this last song. When that I was and a little tiny boy, with hey-ho, the wind and the rain, a foolish thing was but a toy, for the rain it raineth every day. But when I came to man's estate, with hey-ho, the wind and the rain, 'gainst knaves and thieves men shut their gate, for the rain it raineth every day. But when I came, alas, to wive, with hey-ho, the wind and the rain, by swaggering could I never thrive, for the rain it raineth every day. But when I came into my beds, with hey-ho, the wind and the rain, with tosspots still had drunken heads, for it raineth rain every day. A great while ago the world began, with hey-ho, the wind and the rain. But that's all one, our play is done, and we'll strive to please you every day. These are the very last lines of the play, and they hold great significance. As far as the semester goes, we have not read another work that ends in a song, making this play stand out. This is appropriate for the play of Twelfth Night, as Twelfth Night refers to the festivities right after Christmas. This play was typically performed at parties as a form of entertainment, and the ending song is very entertaining, yet also meaningful. Feste, even though he is considered the fool, is very wise and intuitive. His song references foolish things, knavery, thieves, and drunkenness. I believe these are references to the events of the play, such as all the love triangles, the inebriation of many different characters throughout the play, and the pranks, specifically against Malvolio. In his final song, he points out that the foolishness is a very big part of the world, and while it makes the world funny, it also makes the real world seem harsh. The refrain of the song emphasizes and highlights this harshness. Wind and rain are harsh elements of nature that are unforgiving and even destructive. The fact that this is happening every day shows that bad things in life can happen. However, this might seem like a bleak outlook on life and a bit gloomy. Feste does end his song on a positive note. He ends the song by referring back to the play and that the song was meant to entertain the audience. Ultimately, comedy and good things worth smiling about can still come out of this harsh world, which makes life worth living.
Feste speaks in a way that is both calculated and perceptive, and that is intended to protect him from the consequences of being held responsible for his ideas.
I agree. Feste's role allows him to talk openly about everything that happens in the play. I also feel that he is able to be effective in moving the play along. He also is a rather comedic character in a play that is, after all, a comedy. Feste is important because he can point out things realistically and accurately without being reprimanded. The other thing you talked about was Feste's emotions toward other characters. Would you mind elaborating?
Sure. Feste can mock Malvolio and even Olivia as long as he takes care to be witty about it. Although Feste is an appealing character, he is not an affectionate one. He himself, though, shows no serious malevolence, even to his enemy, shows no affection for anyone. His liking for Maria does not amount to fondness. He enjoys drinking and singing with Sir Toby, but despises his drunkenness and does not really care for him. His attitude to strangers is decidedly cool, and he does not appear to be attracted even by Viola. The fact is, he recognizes very clearly that as this world goes, a man whom nobody loves must look out for himself.
I feel that it is important to note that Feste stays neutral in his opinions toward other characters. He is not on anyone's side and it almost puts him in the role of a narrator. He has a relationship with every character, but he does not take any of these relationships too far, and he keeps them at arm's length. Thank you so much for being here today. When we come back, we will talk about Feste's role and portrayal in the She's the Man adaptation.
I can't do this anymore. Everybody, I have something to tell you. I'm not Sebastian. I'm Viola.
Wait, you're not Viola.
Yes, I am.
No, I know Viola. I kissed Viola.
You kissed me.
What are you talking about? I didn't kiss you.
The girls' team at Cornwall got cut, and the guys wouldn't let me go out for their team. So, I've been pretending to be my brother while he was in London for the past 2 weeks. So I could make the team and beat Cornwall. But my brother came home early, and that's who you saw kissing Olivia, and that's who played the first half.
Just because you wear a wig doesn't prove you're a girl.
Okay, then.
Merciful Jesus.
Is it just me, or does this soccer game have more nudity than most?
All right, so everybody understand?
Yeah, I get it.
Okay. Wait a minute. If I kissed your brother, where is he?
He's probably halfway to China by now. He showed his Willis and Doodleberry.
Present.
Oh, hi.
What the?
Okay, this is freaking me out.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hate to say I told you so, but I just... Ow.
See, Duke, I didn't betray you. I'm sorry. This isn't how I wanted it to happen, and I didn't want to hurt you, but I just wanted to prove that I was good enough. All I'm asking for is a chance. Duke?
It's just like what Coach says before every game. Be not afraid of greatness. Some are born great. Some achieve greatness. And some have greatness thrust upon them. I think the best chance for us to be great here today is to have you play.
And with that last clip, we see the comedic resolution to the film adaptation. The analysis of both She's the Man and 12th Night shows that high school is the perfect place for this adaptation. This story is not solely about convoluted love triangles, it is also about trying to fit in and find your place in life as well as society. Both of these stories are relatable to every person, as every person has struggled with this at one point or another. Thank you for watching.